Welcome to the Mighty Baker Podcast. I am Pete Tidwell, your host. I am a custom cake artist, bakery business coach, certified life coach, and the CEO at my bakery business, The Mighty Baker. You might have seen me winning Food Network's Cake Wars, competing on Halloween Baking Championship, or have tasted one of my delicious custom cakes or desserts. Either way, I am so happy that you're here today. I'm obsessed with the art of baking and caking, but I'm even more passionate about helping others live a happy life. Join me here every Wednesday as I share highlights and learnings from my ongoing journey as a bakery business owner. I will also be sharing positive mindset tips and business and life tips along the way, as well as inviting some of my baker friends that I have met over the years on TV baking competition shows. It's going to be a blast, and we are going to have so much fun because here in the world of the Mighty Baker, cake is life. So come on, and let's jump right in the mixing bowl and see what is being mixed up and discussed in this week's episode of the Mighty Baker Podcast. Let's go. Hey, what's up, you guys? This is episode number 40 of the Mighty Baker Podcast. So excited to be here, and let's jump into this episode after we discuss just a few things here. So to finish off on this three-part series, we're focusing on energy today. To get things done each day in life and business, we need energy. All three of the previous episodes discussed things that contribute to good energy in our lives. Energy is derived by cultivating courage and self-belief and self-confidence in yourself and in your abilities and in your business and in what you do in your business and what your specialty is. Energy is derived by taking action relentlessly to becoming the mightiest version of yourself. Energy is derived by having kindness towards yourself and others. And I wanted to add really quickly, it was funny, I was talking to my 7-year-old son about my podcast and about some of the things that I'm talking about right now on my podcast. And he said to me, "Dad, I have something that you should share on your podcast." He went on telling me about something he learned in school around emotional regulation. And it was around this idea of notice, name, to tame. And he talked to me about it a little bit. And basically, it's noticing your emotions so you can become aware of them. Name your emotions. Name what they feel like in your body and how you would describe your emotions. And then taming your emotions. And I took from this meaning once you become aware of your emotions, you can realize that a feeling or an emotion is a vibration in your body created by a thought you have in your brain about a circumstance that's happening in your life. And you can learn that you have a lot of power there. You are in control. We talked about that in the last episode. And when it comes down to your thoughts, it's those thoughts that are creating those emotions. So if you can become familiar with them, and you can thus gain some good energy from that power. If you know that you can create those emotions that you want to create in your life, and that also when bad things happen or something goes wrong, that the worst thing that's going to happen to you is a feeling, an emotion, which is a vibration in your body. It's not going to kill you. And I know that's hard, and I don't mean to be flippant about that at all, because I know there are some hard emotions, and I go through some very hard emotions myself, and I know that's completely difficult, and I don't mean to be disrespectful there. But really, when we're talking about business, and we're talking about business decisions and hard things to go through in business, the worst thing that you're going to feel is a feeling, which is a vibration in your body, fear, like going through a challenge, and you're afraid, you're fearful of what the outcome's going to be. And that emotion that you create in yourself, find out what that emotion feels like in you so that you know and you can become aware, and you can use that energy, that fear, that anger, you can use that energy to go towards your goal. Use it in a good way. Don't let it get you down. Don't let it bring your energy down. Use that energy to have your energy go up. So our main topic of today is how energy is derived by our surroundings. This was another word I wanted to focus on. In next week's episode, I'm going to kind of talk about why I have chosen these 4 words over this last 4 episodes, and why, and these kind of may seem random maybe to a few people listening, but it all makes sense in the next episode. So make sure that you come back for the next episode so that you know what's going on here. So this means that whatever you choose to bring into your life will have a direct influence in a negative or a positive way in your life. So, and you can choose based on your thoughts how that's going to affect you. But there are a lot of things that could take away from the positive energy or that positive flow of energy for you to create and the business that you want and create the next version of yourself. And by being focused on that effort, by trying to recognize what things take away from your positive energy and what things help you feel energized and ready to take on the world. And I know, we will have hard days where you will feel like all is lost and that you should just give up and throw in the towel. And those are the days, my friends, that we will grow nearer into becoming the mightiest version of ourselves. And as I mentioned in my past podcast, you may have heard me on my Instagram as well. A couple weeks ago, I fell down my stairs in my house and hurt my back and sprained it really bad. I could barely walk for about 5 days and just really horrible pain. Luckily, I didn't break anything or fracture anything. But the reason I share that is because with that and with a lot of the business challenges that I'm dealing with right now, just with my closure of my business, I'm not going to go into that. But sometimes life gets a little bit heavy. Like you have things happen in your business or your life that just doesn't seem fair. And life's not fair. And it is those moments where you feel low and you're like, I can't keep going. This is too hard. Like, what? This is too hard. What am I going to do? I'm done. On those days, those are the days that I challenge you to, and it's the small things, at least for me, that kind of get in that way. But even in those dark days when you're just feeling like you're just done, find just one thing that you can have a glimmer of hope of, let's just push through. And whatever you need to do to push you through, whether that's taking a break, whether that's doing some meditation, or whether that's doing exercise, getting your mind off of things, but being able to push through that uncomfortable emotion of doing something hard in your business or your life, there is freedom. There is a better feeling on the other side of that discomfort. But you're not going to be able to get to that next version of yourself if you're not able to pass through and process through that emotion and that hard discomfort that you need to go through in order to become that next version of yourself. And I was thinking about this today, especially this morning, because I woke up and I walked upstairs and we just had dishes everywhere, dirty dishes, piles of papers in my office, their laundry, I don't know, all the different things going on, right? And I look at some of those things, and I think you can all relate to me. There's those things in your house or your office or whatever, your bakery or your place of business, where you're like, oh, I need to do that. 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 And you don't actually do any of those things, and they just keep piling up in the brain. And all of a sudden, you've got all these things, and you're just and you look at a pile of clothes or dishes or papers or an email box or whatever, and you look at it and then you just dread doing it, right? I challenge each of you to choose 3 small things and just pay attention as you go through your day. And when you look at things or you see something, oh, I should do that. Stop yourself in that moment and just do it. Many of those tasks that take up a lot of the space and energy from our brain and our day are only tasks that usually take like 1 to 15 minutes. So like this morning, it took me just not very long. It took me about 8 minutes to get everything done. And by not doing them and thinking you don't have enough time to do them, you're actually sucking away energy from yourself. And that's a very interesting thing. I was just thinking about that this morning and I noticed that. And what did I do? I decided to do it. I decided to take out the pile of recycling and take out the trash. And, in the beginning, I looked at it and I was annoyed. And I was like, I don't want to do that today. And I just don't want to get it done because my back's been hurting, all those kind of things. But I just dealt with it. And I got it all done in about 8 minutes. And I actually timed myself to frame it differently in my mind because I've noticed this happening before. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to try this out today. And maybe this is part of the challenge. When you find something to do that you're just dreading, stop yourself and do it and just time yourself so you know how long it actually takes. And sometimes you'll be a little bit baffled where you're like, oh, that only took me like literally 30 seconds to do that thing. Pay a bill online or like whatever it may be, right? Just try it out. And I think the best advice I would say that I've heard from many business owners, and I don't even know if I heard this from somebody in particular, but it's the best advice ever. And I live by this. If something pops up in your mind, like a task or some good idea for a business idea or something you've been meaning to do in your business, pop out your phone. We all have smartphones, right? We all got smartphones. Take out your smartphone. Hey, Siri, write a note. And it's doing it right on my phone right now, which is really funny. But I do that all the time where I'm like, hey, Siri, write me a note about how I need to do X, Y, Z or an idea, because then later I can go back and look at it. Because in the moment when you're super busy and you got so many different things going on and you're like, oh, I wish we had a better process for this in my business, write a note. And then look at it later and figure out how you can change that process. Because likely if you don't write the note, you may forget about it and be like, oh, you know what? During that busy day in the bakery, we had XYZ going on, or at my house trying to produce all these cakes and cookies and everything. And like, you need to know those moments that are a little bit hard, because that's where you can figure out some processes and systems to help you operate your business and life better so it doesn't take you as much time. There's a lot of processes, I promise you, within your business operations that you can cut back massive amounts of time if you are able to just write those things down and then tackle that. And I hope that makes sense. But I think that that's a big area that really has helped me a lot when I have an idea, just to write those things down. And also know what other things contribute to good, positive energy. A huge one for me is being in nature, going on drives with the windows down, feeling fresh air over my face, going on a walk around my block, sitting by a tree in the park, hiking, like anything. All those activities being out in nature, and those things contribute so much energy to me. And when I'm feeling a little bit down, I go outside, get some sunshine, get some fresh air, sit on some grass, get grounded so that you can feel a bit of a refresher. Go out there and get grounded and experience the beautiful world that we live in. No matter where you live, there's beauty to behold. And that just in of itself, being grateful and seeing and noticing everything around us, we can be more grateful humans and be happier and be refreshed. There's been studies on this too, of like being in nature and especially hiking, how it can be very good for one's mental and physical health. So there we go. Surround yourself by people that give you good energy, that you get good vibes from. Be around those people. And that is where that energy comes from. And you kind of have to see what works for you as you go and try different things and figure out what your stride is of like, what does that look like for you? What does it look like for you to surround yourself with things that are going to contribute positively to your energy levels so you can accomplish the things you need to in your business in a timely manner, in an organized manner, and not drive yourself crazy, and take care of yourself and do some of the things we talked about in previous episodes. and take care of yourself as the CEO of your life and of your business and of your bakery venture or your small food business venture. At one time, you loved your business and you started it because you had deep love and passion for what you do, and you wanted to bring that to the world. So let's look at this and figure out how we can get you more energy in your life so that you can be up to the challenge and you can love being a business owner again. You can love operating your business and you can love what you do, and you can get that deep self-belief and have that energy that you have within yourself. You don't need that from anybody else. You don't need that from anything else around you necessarily, other than nature, like I said. But that's kind of one with trying to feel grateful ourselves. Like, what I mean is we don't need anybody else to create those feelings for us. We can create that for ourselves. And so I'm going to end on this. So as you go about your days, be cognizant of what things you're surrounding yourself with and how they're affecting your energy levels and how you feel about yourself. You guys are all amazing, and I really appreciate those of you that are listening to these podcast episodes. I really do. I listen to these. I re-listen to them because they're really good reminders for me on things that I need to continually work on. Because if you don't stay on top of these things, those energy drains seem to come into life very quickly, and all of a sudden you feel kind of drained. So you got to stay on top of it a little bit and be aware of your surroundings. Be aware of what is happening in your life and how that it's affecting your energy levels and your productivity and how you feel about yourself and your belief. So with that said, I love you all. I hope you have a wonderful day. This was episode 40. Join us next week for episode 41. See you later. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. Season 2 is going to be incredible, so please keep joining us. The Mighty Baker has a lot of exciting things going on. Head to themightybaker.com or follow us on social media at The Mighty Baker to stay updated on what we have coming down the pipeline. Are you or someone you know a bakery business owner? If so, you gotta check out my bakery business coaching. I am now taking on one-on-one clients and helping them create sweet success in their bakery business and their life. Head to bakerybusinesscoach.com to learn more about my coaching program and sign up for a free 30-minute coaching session. I want to coach you on any bakery business problem that is holding you back from growing and from enjoying your everyday life. Please join us next time on the Mighty Baker podcast. This is your host, Pete Tidwell, signing off and reminding you to make your day a mighty one.